10 days after planting, still going strong and looking good. In my experience, everything that I've transplanted in the past has just dropped all of its bulbs and died, so this is a huge win for me. And another thing that's going to happen eventually here very soon, we're getting rid of these Bradford pears, because does anyone truly like Bradford pears? I don't. I hate these things. So I wanted to do something a little bit different for this video. I wanted to go into the backstory of what my property and actually what this whole neighborhood used to be. And we're gonna start on the back side of the fenced-in concrete pad with hints of grass. I now dub this the wasteland because, I mean, look at it. There's just not a whole lot going on back here. There's some weeds, definitely have that going on. So the wasteland back here actually has some evidence of what this whole neighborhood used to be and what my house is built upon. This whole entire neighborhood at one point used to be a gigantic tree farm. And the evidence I was talking about, here's a good one over here, is this right here. See these gigantic holes? There's a big one there and right there. There's another one right over there. See, there's another one there, right over there, just on the other side of that shrub. These little holes, well, not little, they're pretty big. Please don't be a snake in there. And that's a pretty significant hole, and those holes are all over the place back here in the wasteland. So then in 2007, he and his family sold off a portion of the land so that they could build this neighborhood. Now the developer that bought all the property, 2008 happened, he couldn't do anything, he was kind of just sitting on his hands, couldn't really build any houses and develop out the neighborhood like he wanted. Flash forward to 2016, he was able to build 3 homes before selling off all the land to another home developer. They finished out and actually are still finishing out the neighborhood, and those 3 homes consist of one down the street from me, actually 2 down the street from me, and my house. Construction begins on the house, which means the land is cleared, the lot is just leveled, all the good topsoil is scraped off and just kind of graded out to make room for the building of the house. Once the house goes up, the sod's brought in and put down on the property, which is just common Bermuda sod. That's typical for brand new construction. So I actually have a picture of what it looks like before they brought the sod in. If you look closely at the picture, you'll notice that there's still some tree roots and just garbage left in the soil after they cleared it all off and scraped off the good topsoil. So that's the kind of stuff that we're dealing with underneath the Bermuda. So the land was scraped, like I said, sod was brought in, the ground wasn't prepped hardly at all, I would suspect, and the sod was just thrown down, so that's what we have today. And I really don't know what's been done to the property. I don't have a history of what's been put down, issues, all that kind of stuff. I mean, we're essentially dealing with new construction because the home was built in 2016, so it's only 3 years old, which means the property here, the turf, all the grass, that's only 3 years old. So it dawned on me that I'm essentially dealing with 2 rehab projects here. All of the Bermuda turf, which consists of the front yard here and the sides, and the fescue in the fenced-in concrete pad in the back. So all I've done to the yard thus far is scalp it completely down at the beginning of spring to get rid of all that old growth, all that old Bermuda, so that the new growth of the Bermuda can thrive. I've been giving it the BioStem products, giving it the 3 ounces per 1,000 like I always preach, and I've also been giving it some 1801 Green Punch. Now that's what I've been doing for the Bermuda grass. The fenced-in concrete pad, we've been hitting it with a compaction cure. I actually did my 2nd round of the compaction cure a few days ago prior to shooting this video. It's now had 2 rounds of the compaction cure on it and my kids' toys. I have noticed that the clumps of fescue that are back here are really dark green. I mean, they're looking really good. Other than the fescue that's thriving and doing well back here, there's no real significant change. These bare spots that you're seeing, it's going to take more than just 2 rounds of the compaction cure to really have an impact and affect those areas. Something you have to keep in mind about these bare spots, there's no turf, there's no roots in the game, so there's nothing there to hold on to the nutrients that we are giving it. Now, the compaction cure, it is having an effect on that soil. It's just going to take a whole lot longer on the bare spots than the spots that actually have turf. But I still want to give it tender love and care. So the best thing that I can do is keep giving it the compaction cure and the 1801 green punch to help promote the turf that is here. This is a major renovation project come fall time, but I'm gonna start now by giving it the compaction cure to help the soil along and get it prepped and ready for when I do go to overseed back here in the fall. Another thing that I've been doing to the yard is after I scalped it, I came back through and started scalping it down with this. Big thanks to my buddy Mike, you know, this guy. So the other day, Deidre was like, what does he go by? Does he go by Mike or Mike? I was like, I think it's just Real Low Dad.
Real Low Dad.
Mr. Real Low Dad?
Dr. Real Low Dad.
Dr. Real Low Dad?
Yeah, we'll go with Dr. Real Low Dad.
All right, Doc.
Esquire.
When he found out that I was moving into this property, he asked me if I was going to reel cut the whole thing. I told him I wanted to, I was interested in that. I was looking around to buy a reel mower. He said, no, don't worry about that. I've got an extra one. Come grab it from me. You can borrow it for as long as you want and get your feet wet with reel cutting. So I did that. If you want to see the video from where I went and picked it up from him, I'll link that in the description box below or the eye icon at the top. But yeah, I've been cutting it with a reel mower and keeping it pretty short because I'm trying to retrain it to grow out instead of up. It's really happy at 1 inch, and that's kind of what I'm gonna aim for this season, is keeping this yard at 1 inch and slowly over time mowing it down lower and lower. But it's gonna take, that's a process. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take me doing a few other things that we'll talk about in the future. But I started at a 1/2 inch on the reel mower, and I've just been slowly raising it up and cutting the yard, like I said, to retrain it to grow out instead of up. So that's what we're up against. We're up against what used to be a tree farm and never had any turf on it probably at all. And we're dealing with essentially a new construction lawn. So we've got some work ahead of us. This is a total renovation project here in the Bermuda and in the turf Type Tall Fescue in the back, because that's what I'm gonna put back there is turf Type Tall Fescue. I wanna have a cool season and a warm season so that I can talk about both and just learn and help all of you out as much as possible when it comes to our products and how to take care of those 2 turf types. So there you go. Like I said, I just wanted to do something a little bit different for this video, give you the brief history behind my property here, give you the backstory. What other questions or comments do you have? Drop those in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer those for you. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell to get the notifications every time I upload a new video, all that good social media stuff. Keep on keeping on, my lawn care brothers and sisters from other misters, and I will catch you next time.